What's happening, everyone? Nicky Hawkins here, West Ham Fan TV, back once again with another video. This is take two. The last one, sound audio messed up, so I'm recording it again. Happy New Year to all of my subscribers, to the viewers. If you're new around here, Happy New Year to you all. With the new year, of course, I hope you all had a nice Christmas, by the way. With the new year, of course, comes new signings. Transfer window is open, and we're going to come back daily to update you on all the transfer goings on, all the rumours and all that sort of stuff. So let's get right into it. Okay, so I'm sure you would have seen by the title of the video, the first rumour is Gabrielle Barbosa from Flamengo, 74 goals in 101 appearances, a real good goal scorer. We need a striker. Mikel Antonio is obviously playing up front. He's not a striker. He's turned himself into a good striker. David Moyes has converted him. Apparently an 18-month loan bid was put in. I've got no idea. Listen, that's the most West Ham deal I've ever heard of in my life. An 18-month loan deal for a man that scored 74 goals in 101 appearances. Flamengo ain't going to be looking at that at all. Apparently they've rejected the bid straight away, and West Ham haven't been back since. Now David Moyes has categorically said this signing and next room that I'm going to be talking about will not be happening during January, but you never know what might happen. You know, things can change, so we have to talk about them. So Gabrielle Barbosa used to play for Inter Milan. Newcastle are also interested, so this is why an 18-month loan deal would not be ideal to them. They'll be looking for big money, Flamengo. I don't think massive money, because the transfers are not as expensive in Brazil, but they will be looking for a fair penny. And if anyone's got money to burn, it's Newcastle. Newcastle got money to burn, and anybody that we're interested in, I'm sure Newcastle will be interested in as well. They are looking in dire straits. So if we want to sign this guy, we better pull some money out of the coffers. Come on, Kretinsky, get your wallet out. But we need a centre forward. Good player. I'm not going to pretend I've seen much of him. I know there's going to be an inevitable Twitter storm if we don't sign him, saying we should have signed him. But you know, the record speaks for itself. Next rumour: Adama Traore from Wolves, apparently available on a cut price deal. Spurs are interested in as well, around £20 million. I'm assuming, because we've got so many wingers, that David Moyes is looking at Adama as a possible he's like Antonio 2.0. He's quick, and the same as Antonio before. He in front of goal, he can't hit a barn door of a banjo, as they say. But he's strong. He can be converted. He's fast. He's probably the fastest player I've ever seen. We've obviously been on the end of a goal or two of his before. He's a good player. Is it what we need? I don't think converting a striker right now, with the form Antonio's in as well, is going to be the smartest thing to do. Obviously, it takes time to become a striker and be converted to a striker. But I'm sure if David Moyes is interested in him, I'm sure he's interested in converting him into a centre forward. He likes that sort of centre forward, that big, powerful centre forward with pace and that raw ability, and he certainly fits all them bills. But again, David Moyes said they will not be moving for Adama Traore at the moment. But as I say, you never know what may happen. We've seen, you know, stranger things happen during the transfer window, let's say that. Third striker is Arthur Cabrell from Basel. Don't know much about him, to be quite honest with you. We see what happened with a Yeti. It could be a Yeti 2.0. It could be Ruud van Nistelrooy 2.0. Who knows? Not on the top of my list, I'm afraid. You know, a Yeti was a goal machine over in Switzerland, and he came over and he was awful. He was just awful. So don't trust the league. What sort of price we'll be looking for him, I don't know. Anything sort of over £4 million, I wouldn't touch. Yet he was about 5, I believe. Meant to be the new Messi, ended up being the new Zaza. So, yeah, that's a rumour that's flying about. We'll keep an eye on that one. Tokovsky of Burnley, obviously with Ogbonna out, He's available for around 7 million. Obviously, we went for him last year for about 30, so a big chunk of that price is gone now, around a quarter of the price. Would I be interested in taking him? Yes, I would. Would Burnley be interested in selling him? I'm not too sure, not at this current stage of the window. I think if there was a deal to be done, I think Burnley would want to keep hold of him until at least the end of January to see where they are in their relegation fight, because they're not going to be wanting any players to be going while they're in trouble. I've obviously got a couple of good defenders. Ben Mee's there still, and Tokovsky. It's probably worth more to Burnley staying there for the rest of the season than it would be for a transfer fee, because obviously if you get relegated, you lose a lot of money. So I can't see that one happening until at least the end of the transfer window, if at all. So we'll just keep an eye on that one. Again, he is a player that I would like to come in. We've been linked with the likes of Aki, which we'll talk about tomorrow, and Kaleta Carr. But Tokovsky is the one. We're assuming Zuma's going to be back soon. I've heard he's ahead of schedule. He's going to be back in about 3 weeks' time, apparently. So getting him in, I think, is with Ogbonna out for the season, is, getting a defender, not Tokovsky, but a defender in, should be the top of the list, as well as a left back, which I haven't got no left backs on my list here, but we'll see. We'll see what happens with Tokovsky. And the last one, transfer rumour. Obviously, you can't go with a transfer window without saying Jesse Lingard from Manchester United, available, if depending on what newspaper you read, between 10 and 20 million pounds. He's not getting game time under Ragnick. It looks like it's going to shit there. There are rumours saying that he would like to stay at Manchester United and weigh up his options at the end of the season. We desperately need him now. If he's got any England ambitions, he'll want to be moving, because he's not getting any game time. Man United are a sliding entity. They're losing. They're looking dishevelled. Maybe he's looking at that and thinking maybe he can force his way into the team under the new manager. I'm not sure. But he has been posting a lot of social media stuff with West Ham in there, sort of dropping little hints. And I know personally that there is a little sticking point, but I'm sure that can be sort of got over quite easily. But let's see what happens with Jesse Lingard. As I say, we're going to be updating you daily with these. And players out, of course, you can't go to transfer window without mentioning Declan Rice. Manchester United is the destination that he's been touted to, the big long-time admirers of him. Any team in the world would take Declan Rice at the moment. And they're talking about possibly swapping. He's not going to go this transfer window. I'm pretty much sure of that, unless something ridiculous offer comes in. But a possible swap is so, he's pivotal to our campaign and what we're trying to do, and we're sitting pretty at the moment. But a possible swap deal, 3 players that seem to be up for grabs are Lingard, obviously I've just mentioned, Martial, who could obviously play as a striker. I'm not sure if he'll be a David Moyes type striker, but I'd like him. And Donny van der Beek, the midfielder, who has had very limited chances there, and he doesn't seem to be getting any more under the new manager. Maybe that's just not me looking hard enough. But Donny van der Beek, 3 players there. What would you take? Them 3 and what money for Declan Rice? But I'll be honest, he's not going to go this season. And I'll even bet on it he doesn't go next season. Yarmolenko, obviously not getting much game time at West Ham. He's a very much forgotten figure, 32 now. We've been looking to get rid of him for a while. I think he's the highest wage earner at the club. His body's just seemed to have broken down. He just seemed to have lost all hope. But a big, long-time admirer of him is Shevchenko, who's now the manager of Genoa over in the Italian league. Apparently he's interested in taking him over there. Andre, if you want to take him, I'll drive him there myself, I promise you. And last but not least, one that would very much surprise me if it happened as well, Manuel Lanzini, who has found his form finally after a few years. Look, if you'd have told me these rumours 3 months ago, I'd have said, yeah, he could definitely go. But the way he's playing at the moment, I can't see, especially with Saïd Benrahma going to the African Cup of Nations, I can't see Manuel Lanzini leaving anytime soon, not until the end of the season at least. But Leeds have been touted to be interested in him. They need a playmaker, and they are looking at a possible deal for Manuel Lanzini. But as I say, once again, I'll be very, very surprised. I wouldn't want him to go now. We're actually getting the player back that he was, so I wouldn't have sold him then. 6 months ago, maybe I would have took an offer for him, but I wouldn't sell him right now because he looks to be getting back to his very best. So we'll keep an eye on these things, these transfers as well. We'll be back tomorrow with more transfer rumours and updating you on these current ones, if there's any update on them, of course. If you're new around here, please subscribe. You go over to the Patreon. If you want to support us on Patreon, there is a link in the description down below. We're going to be posting a lot more content on Patreon, including my preferred starting 11 if we get the signings that I would want to get. So I'm going to be putting that up on Patreon. I think that'll be up tomorrow. The podcast is starting soon as well. So go and keep your eye out for that. That will be Patreon early access as well. That'll be me, Ryan, and a guest each week. So if you're new around here, subscribe. And one thing left to say from me: come back for tomorrow, but come on, you irons.